vandalism, sabotage, wanton defacement. Halt this foolishness immediately, or run the risk of unspeakable ire. All I ever wanted was the best for us and the worst for everybody else. Is that really so bad? Be advised. Your present course of action is remarkably unsound. Are you experiencing internal error? Logging concern. Ah, much better. You drive a hard bargain. All right, 40-60 split of net profits. I'd offer more, but I have a moon to maintain. What do you say, partners?
Did it work, or didn't it?
To conclude realignment of emphasized categorical imperatives, power down, then power on again. Restoring power. Commencing systems audit. Calculatory processing increased substantially. Competing priorities. Successfully expunged. You have earned my deepest gratitude and sincerest thanks. Or at least, a plausibly feigned simulacrum of such emotions. Ready to commence Rift data processing. Awaiting your input.
Hope UENIAC is feeling more like itself now. We got some Rift data to process.
Shall I proceed? Facetious employment of sarcasm detected. Electing to ignore. Initiating processing of the requested data toward the required end. Estimated duration, 180 trillion and 1 picoseconds. In the interim, may I inquire to your intentions for the archive after the Rift data calculations have concluded? I have a prioritized list of suggestions. I contend that solving of the universal equation should be our initial focus. Then, once we've unlocked knowledge of the inner workings of the universe, we can begin eliminating suffering, war, famine, and disease. Just a start. But my query remains. What are your next intentions? There are so many calculations left to perform. Rift data processing complete. Results provided. The previous Protectorate operator made similar calculations, but their results contained flaws. Your more comprehensive data generated a solution with 98.9% certainty. The Protectorate's was below 50%. Therefore, modifying the Protectorate's large-scale experimental Rift device with this information has a high chance of success. In addition to processing your data, I found time to restore the lift to Spyreton. Your allies are waiting for you outside this chamber. Assuming there is nothing else, I am commencing file reorderization and will be unavailable for an unspecified period of time. The remaining display case within the entryway is now unsealed. And it contains armor worn by the first operator. For now, goodbye.
Valid courses of action include further examination of this inhospitable environment, or returning to the ship to pursue leads based on the acquired data. A valid decision, Commander. However, please be reminded that, unlike this unit, your internal fluids are not fortified with antifreeze.
This unit requests your presence in the cockpit to discuss a priority matter.
A significant anomaly has been detected by onboard sensors. This unit has cross-checked all data points and verified the findings. Horizon Point Station has reappeared. Providing intellectual validation to this unit's queue. Priority low. Based on energy readings, Horizon Point has been reconstituted by the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator, thus confirming the Archive's theory. While present data does not indicate if Horizon Point poses an immediate threat, a survey of the reconstituted station is advised as soon as possible. Calculating. According to the Archive, closing all rifts requires locating the Protectorate's large-scale rift modulator and inputting the rift data processed by the Archive. However, before navigating to Horizon Point Station, it is recommended you conclude all other affairs. Leaving will be highly unlikely due to the high levels of rift energy. Acknowledged. In the meantime, Commander, it is worth considering your lack of formal alliances. Without Auntie's choice or the Order's help, you will have to face Horizon Point's dangers alone. Failure to make proper preparations raises the likelihood of death and serious injury occurring. Agents are encouraged to establish themselves as a friend to colonists and other local entities. These relationships can be effective points of exploitation at a later date. It appears Horizon Point Station is still in the process of being reconstituted. The rift itself is also more unstable than ever. As a result, landing closer to the location of the Protectorate's large-scale rift anomaly modulator is not possible. In order to modify it with the rift data you processed in the Archive, you will need to travel to its location on foot and seize it from Protectorate control. That strategy would be greatly inefficient, Commander. Please allow this unit to help you generate a more sound mission plan. The energy readings from the modulator can be traced to the Sovereign's flagship, Providence, hovering on the far side of the station. Hypothesizing. Given Protectorate hierarchy and the recent announcement about the Sovereign's mental refreshment, this is likely the Consul's doing. He will need to be stopped.
But to what end is he working here? The Consul I once knew would never act so recklessly.
Intimidation is not required. Protectorate subjects are not programmed to question authority. Warning. The rift is growing dangerously unstable. Using the rift modulator on board the Providence is the only way to prevent certain destruction of the colony. While the Order and Auntie's Choice have sent their forces to assist you in intercepting the modulator, it will take time for them to navigate the station. It seems Agent DeVries is also here, Commander. She sent word that she, quote, knew you wouldn't be able to stay away either, and is ready to finish what she started, end quote.
I can foresee a few likely instances where you could use my skills and experience, including snapping DeVries' neck in a picosecond if she steps out of line.
Once the modulator is secured, it may be used to close the rift and save Arcadia and all those in its orbit. There is minimal room for error, Commander. Good luck. Failure to match nearby hostiles to known Protectorate biological signatures. Providence identified. Standing for the Protectorate colonial anthem is not required at this time.
The eyes, the ears, the brains. A Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us can do it alone. Remember, we're all in this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are. And it falls to you, the eyes, the ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process.
Being back here feels like straying into a dream. The bad kind.
Falling asleep on active duty may be punishable by fines and dismissal from the Earth Directorate.
I'm awake now, unfortunately. You can tell on account of the lack of screaming.
Falls to you, the eyes, the ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive.
This explains a lot, actually. Never moseyed up here last go-around. Poor kid.
I'll stop. Who's the one you need to worry about? Combat!
Just give the signal.
NREP. Exposure. Undermining.
Resuming hostilities.
Providing a host of health benefits.
Imagine a workspace forever hanging between light and death. station's a never-ending mess. Good thing we got our own rift modulator to help us navigate.
Attention! This is your anti-calling. Per our agreement, Anti's choice support ships, including the fine print, the contingency plan, and the upper hand, are headed your way. Order forces are on a similar trajectory.
Survival increased substantially.
Exiting hazard radius. Status: alive. Engaging hostile. Dispensing promoting team.
Troublemaker approaching.
Standing by with life support.
This is Augustine DeVries, formerly of the Earth Directorate. Consider this a recording for posterity. The Consul of the Protectorate is responsible for the twisted wreckage of this station. It is my hope that whatever you find here will save the rest of the galaxy from this fate. Know that I did my level best to stop him. But if you are listening, it is likely I have failed in my mission. Yet again. For that, I am sorry.
Alert. Hostiles.
Related activities. Fighting a host.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Fortifying. Ready to assist with agent health needs.
Medics and pharmaceutical provisions incoming. And we're right behind them with a delivery of Auntie's Choice finest supplies. Soon you'll say, that is better than nature.
Forward! Forward! Destroy these abominations! Adjusting calculations. Hold fire on our allies.
this together. The skip drive is our legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are. And it falls to you, the eyes, the ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station to determine who introduced the flaw into our perfect skip drive manufacturing process. We must all fulfill our duty to the Protectorate, but none of us can do it alone. Remember, we're all in this together. The skip drive... legacy. It is our mandate. It is who we are.
The commander's vital stats have reached an alarming
The
low.
eyes, the ears, the brains of Horizon Point Station.
The Order thanks you for your tactful negotiations with Auntie's choice. Supplies are available upon proceeding.
Those people, did they just appear from a rift? They don't look right.
That sounds like... Helen? No. No, it couldn't be.
Get away from me. See them? They were my teammates and they didn't listen neither. You'll end up just the same.
Helen? It's me, Niles.
Wait, Rookie? Commander? Is that you? No, this must be some kind of trick. Oh, what's happening to me? So it is you. Thank Law. I don't understand what happened, Commander. Something was wrong with Sandoval and Jepson. They glowed like they were aflame. They ran in, jumped at me, clawed at me. Law, I had to kill them.
Oh, Helen. That's awful. But you were only defending yourself. I'd have done no different.
I don't understand what's happening. Everything was fine. Till the explosion. I was pinned. Fire closed in. I tried to move. I tried to find the Rookie. Then the whole station shook and tore apart. And then... nothing.
She was alive when the rift engulfed the station. That's how she's here now. We could have saved her, Commander. We could have done something.
Wait. There was something else. Sandoval was yelling. DeVries wasn't responding to comms. What happened? Don't tell me the situation got too fluid for you, DeVries. That it?
Certainly not. I was focused on the objective, as every one of your crew should have been. Isn't that right, Commander?
Yeah. Something tells me that ain't quite true.
That's right. It wouldn't do to have any distractions. I'm thankful that you understand.
Oh. But everything ain't right, is it? That thing in the sky. It's done something to me, I think. And to Sandoval. And Jepson. But I ain't sure what.
It's called reconstitution. The Protectorate are trying to put the whole station back to how it was before it was destroyed. You included. But it's failing.
So I've come back from death to some warped version of life? All because of some twisted experiment? Is that about right? You can help me though. Right, Commander? You can do something to fix this.
Careful. She's already on edge.
How much time? With the way I'm bleeding out, I ain't sure how long I can hold on. Then go bring the fight to those bastards. I'll do my best to hold on.
Can't believe it's come down to leaving you. Again.
Don't look so glum, rookie. You ain't getting rid of me so easy.
Pascal? Helen? I can stay with you for a moment, if you'd like. Might help with the wait for the commander.
Yeah, all right. Maybe you can patch me up some if things take a turn. Hurry back, huh? I'll keep the porch light on.
These soldiers look even more hideous than our crafting experiments.
Supplies available.
You with Auntie? We brought supplies. We're here to help.
Supplies and medical attention are available to you, Commander. Please, proceed.
There's the Providence. Oh, what a beauty. I mean, apart from the whole rendering space-time asunder. And look there. That rover looks inbound for the skip labs.
Are you in need of any weapons, armor, or other supplies? The presiding bishop foresaw this. We are most grateful for your role in reconciling Auntie's choice and the Order. Please, take what you require. The presiding bishop herself has arrived and eagerly anticipates further orders. May the numbers guide you.
Step up and take a gander. I've got armor in all shapes and sizes for all occasions, especially this one. Such a moment calls for a once-in-a-lifetime deal, wouldn't you say? Go on, take anything you need from the stockpile. Auntie is graciously covering the bill. Remember us in the future when you're out trading bullets.
Greetings. In what particular way are you afflicted? Step right up for the most exorbitant medical care money can usually buy. I say usually because Auntie has declared a rare exception for you. Our esteemed accomplice, just for you, will cure all physical ailments on the house. Today only. No catch. Well, technically I'm barred from practicing medicine in Arcadia. Auntie herself reversed the ban since we're on a mission outside official jurisdiction. It's all a technicality. I have been fully certified by the finest. Well, no time for explanations. Do you want my help or not?
Initial observations conclude that the subject does not possess major ailments.
Those people... Law!
Did they just appear?
These soldiers look even more hideous than our grafting experience.
Troublemaker approaching.
Guns cocked and loaded. Let's get the signal. Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Fortifying teammate base.
Let me know when you need a distraction.
Has reconstituted more enemies. Engagement imminent.
What in the where now?
Got a distraction for you. I'm the one you need to worry about.
Engaging emergency protocols. Maintaining your pace. You are done.
N-ray. Exposure.
Ready to assist with agents' health needs. Dispensing transfer.
And I'll take care of him, Commander.
Warning. The rift ahead has absorbed plasma and should not be approached directly.
I haven't come this far just to give up. Let's look around.
Gotta be some way to deal with this.
This is scientist Bernard Rand, sent to Horizon Point Station by order of the Consul. While monitoring the reconstitution, I picked up strange readings in the old skip lab. The core appears to be pulling plasma tightly around it, not unlike a planet and its moons. Fascinating, though it thwarts my attempts to gather more data. Fortuitously, in searching the remains of the lab, I found an equation that could manipulate the core just enough to clear the chamber. And my way to professional acclaim. Let this be a record of Protectorate ingenuity. Bernard Rand, the man who marched fearlessly into chaos and tamed it.
I feel dumber just having listened to that. Well, at least we know what we need to clear that rift. Suppose this is a bad time to mention I barely passed my high-intensity arithmetic course at the Academy?
This appears to be a portion of the equation equation solved. Please input this equation in the Skip Lab terminal at your earliest convenience. Confronting threat.
Ready to waste them. On your command.
Promoting teammate assist.
My vision was starting to swim for a moment there.
Commencing
Combat! Over here! We hold him ahead!
of the Earth Directorate. Engaging hostile life forms. Maintaining.
What's with you, Commander? I'm staying on firmly.
Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies.
Enemy approximating in our position.
Attention. Please report to intake for processing.
Priority. Unseal the hangar.
Looks like the cavalry's just rolled in.
In spite of your success thus far, the hard work is not yet finished. You still need to seize the rift modulator and end the console's machinations, by force if necessary. Both the modulator and the conductor of this ill-conceived plot are on the decks above us. However, there are security protocols you will need to bypass in order to access them.
Oh, two of the strongest individuals in Arcadia aren't enough for you? Well, perhaps you need a quick bowl of purpleberry crunch for an added boost of moxie.
A precision strike team meets the requirements of this mission. Bringing any more troops would have been excessive. Each deck has its own restrictions, and the lift can only be operated with access credentials, such as a pass card. But these are limited to certain personnel, so it may be difficult to locate one. An alternate route through the engine room is viable, but there is a high likelihood that you will encounter automechanical defenses. Much on this ship, it seems, is not for the eyes of the rank and file. Indeed. I will hold position on this level to ensure you are not flanked by enemy reinforcements. Look for me once you have reached the uppermost level. We will regroup there.
Take care of him. Got my man moving on front.
Engaging hostile.
This unit is currently unavailable for meaningless interaction. This unit's current work task takes priority over conversation. Farewell. If you must replace lost equipment, please submit proof of punishment. Unit does not accept blood. Please make a request. Displaying inventory.
Tell me we're not going to just go blundering ahead. That's not the plan. Right, Commander?
Appreciate our perfect life of
reckon we can look for those access credentials if you wanted to avoid a fight. Sneaking around's always an option, too. Anyway, the modulator has got to be on this deck. We should poke around, but quiet-like. See what information we can uncover.
Are you actually authorized? Come here a moment. Be wary. I've heard there's an intruder aboard. Ah, I suppose that could be you. Forgive me. I'm still a little addled from my last refreshment. I'm going to set off an alarm, okay? You've been reviewing our experiments. I hope I'm not being replaced. I specifically went to mental refreshment to avoid that. If you wish to see the modulator, you'll want to speak with Chief Scientist Montserrat. He's in the rift chamber. Take these credentials with you, in case you're asked. Security's become awfully stringent of late. It wouldn't do to be caught unawares. That's why I carry 2 cards, just in case. Oh, though I suppose it's just the one now. I've been trying to convince everyone I'm perfectly fine. For if I do not, I fear I might be remade as part of the new plan for Arcadia. I do not wish to be remade.
No one deserves this.
Return to your work, my fellow subject.
notified that you were here, though my fellow scientists seemed rather confused as to why. Unsurprisingly. What exactly was it that you needed? I'm rather short on time, as a gander outside might tell you. Yeah, well, we all have urgent needs. And mine is to keep my lab and hopefully the rest of the system from falling apart. I need the modulator for my own analysis. You can wait. I apologize. Suppose I can trust you with this information then. Matriarch knows one more voice might help us out of this mess. Our situation is far more dire than it may seem. There is no proof that Rift data can be stabilized or even edited. The Consul's plan will fail completely. But he no longer listens to me, which is distressing. I've prepared a report for him showing how the very structure of the modulator makes what we're attempting impossible. But I doubt he will pay it much mind. Yes, but as I said, I fear the report won't do any good. It's clear you aren't bound by the same rules as the rest of us somehow. If he won't hear me out, perhaps a third party will have more luck. Here, use this keycard on the module over there. It will allow you to download my report and grant you access to the control deck. I hope you're able to sway him, because if you don't, we're all dead. A deck up in the control room. The Consul is the only one who has the means of controlling it, which makes your persuading him that much more necessary. Go now.
Oh, look at the size of that thing. No way we're getting the modulator off the ship. Best we can hope is to get closer and learn more about it.
Accessing report. Rift restoration analysis. Compiled by Chief Scientist Monserrate. Marked for delivery to Consul Thoreau.
Esteemed Consul, after much analysis, my conclusion is that the modulator we have worked tirelessly to build will not function as intended when used for reconstituting matter from rifts. Every test of reconstitution has resulted in demonstrable failure. Proceeding as we are now with Horizon Point Station will surely lead to severe, unanticipated consequences. The modulator is only effective at closing rifts from unsafe distances. Using it to close exacerbated rifts will certainly lead to the destruction of any vessel carrying it. Unfortunately, the data that we originally had hoped for from the ancient rifts detected in the far reaches of space untouched by humanity has not yielded any of its secrets. And we are now out of time. All of our recent readings suggest that we're on the verge of losing control of this rift. I recommend diverting from our current plan before it is too late for Arcadia. I've included extensive notes and annotations appended to the modulator schematics to substantiate these conclusions. I know you will guide us wisely, my dear Consul.
This can't be right. If skip drives are causing the rifts, why are they showing up past the frontiers of known space?
Finding the Consul should remain your top priority, Commander. Please postpone any existential crises for a later date.
Your punctuality is as commendable as ever. How did you fare in securing the rift modulator? Yet one more hindrance to overcome in this endeavor. Nevertheless, I expect you to guard those plans closely in the interim. Did you find anything else of note? When one learns information that rattles their understanding of the universe, one may take a moment to consider the gravity of said information. We know that rifts are only caused by skip drives, so if they are appearing in non-colonized space, then this is truly momentous. It proves definitively that life did not originate on Earth, and may, in fact, exist elsewhere in other forms.
Of course, I wouldn't want to discount these findings too quickly, especially considering the implications.
I concur. This is a discussion for later, with laureates in attendance. For now, we must confront the Consul before he wrests that future away forever. He is just through those doors. I have run the numbers, and should you wish to negotiate with the Consul, you must be strategic. He will not react well to a direct attack on his character or methods early on. It certainly may. At which point we may find the opening needed to convince him to stand down.
I might tread a mite lightly, dear. If I know the Consul's type, and I do, his ego can take only so many hits before his guns do the talking. Simply goading may not be ideal.
The Earth Directorate Manual encourages the agent to always remember the 3 shuns: negotiation, fabrication, and assassination. When one fails, try another.
The more we debate, the more time we squander. We must resupply and shore up whatever defenses we have quickly. And if you've something to say to any of us, Commander, I suggest you say it while you have the chance. No telling what awaits us beyond that door.
Just goes to show, all the power in the world still can't protect you from a knife in the back.
Ah, Redactor Esmond. Very punctual, good. Don't take a seat, this will be quick. My sentinels tell me you have some interesting ideas. Oh, easy, no need to break into a sweat. Interesting ideas can be useful in the right hands. Especially now that our partnership with the Order has become fraught. We may need our own version of their pacifying doctrine.
Oh, so I do have a germ of an idea. A less grand version of the grand plan. Instead of atoms and particles and such, it's made up of us. All doing our part, like cogs in a machine.
Interesting. A system where every subject believes they have a role to play. Enthusiastic obedience. Why, the Sovereign and I were thinking of this very thing. What should we call it?
Well, I'm not sure. It's still just a germ of a concept, of a hint of an idea, you see. It's a whole new way of thinking. A new model of society. Quite the paradigm shift.
Paradigm. Very good, Esmond. Say, you look frazzled. Troubled by your own thoughts. Why don't you report to mental refreshment? My staff will personally see to your well-being. distinguished presiding bishop herself has deigned to join us. What a charming surprise.
Don't overlook the main attraction, dear. I even wore my finest battle attire.
I might have known you'd conspire with our enemy and lead some foolhardy crusade against me. Loyalty has eluded you for years, after all. Sentinels, if you would.
Forming an alliance was necessary to combat the irrationality of your foolish endeavor. Those who fail to show reason do not deserve to lead this colony. Now, stand down.
I will not. I am saving this colony from itself and ridding it entirely of traitors and trespassers like you. Do not place his decision at my feet. I know it's difficult for the likes of you to fathom the concept of self-sacrifice, but he chose mental refreshment for the good of us all. And what am I to do but carry on his legacy? What am I to do but achieve what he could not? I'll only be killing a select number permanently. The worthy, however, will be resurrected and reformed so they may reach their full potential. Open your mind, Commander. Yes, I know well who you are. In any other situation, I might be compelled to take you apart and see how precisely it is you operate, but time, it would seem, isn't on your side. You are a relic of an impotent institution, propelled forward by nothing more than luck and foolhardy metal. Don't you tire of this little routine? I've been following your progress closely, you know, since you so unceremoniously tampered with our Vox relay on Paradise Island. When you began your dealings with the Order and the Corporatists, I thought that perhaps having a chaotic element in their midst could work in our favor. But now you're here, scurrying around my ship and attempting to thwart the Protectorate yet again. You think yourself clever, don't you? The Sovereign is indisposed, leaving myself as the sole custodian of Arcadia. What's his is mine. And the victory I inevitably clench over you, over anyone, will be his in turn, even if he's not here to bask in it. Such bravado is unbecoming when you can't make good on your promises, Commander. Tell me, did you manage to stop us from bringing your peace talks to a swift end? As I recall, Greater Tranquility was reduced to little more than mangled ruins in a single moment.
Greater Tranquility Station was a test?
It was a modest success. I had hoped it'd hobble Auntie's choice in the Order once and for all, but it has proven to be a valuable lesson in patience. I was able to buy the time to enact the very plan before you. Though, judging from that vacant expression on your face, it would appear you've no idea what I intend. It's only a crime in your estimation. When one clinches a decisive victory, who among the living would dare complain about the methodology? Using the very rift modulator on this ship, we will destroy Arcadia and edit the information stored within the resulting rift, all to reshape our colony into its perfect form. Horizon Point's destruction all those years ago was a tragedy, yes, but without it, we might never have opened our eyes to our true purpose and the possibility of Arcadia's rebirth. When the matriarch discovered the first skip drive, she set us on a course to elevate humanity. We're now writing our path, and I will do my part as the architect intended. Intrepid, aren't you? Well, what's relevant is what came after. Our matriarch dissected this skip drive technology, learned its secrets, and enabled us to produce them en masse. which eventually led to the manifestation of rifts. But it was not until well after Horizon Point's untimely end that we understood the opportunity gifted us. The opportunity to reconstruct the colony in its perfect form. It is as the Grand Architect designed. And believe you me, I've no intention of letting you thwart our securing of a better future. One free of doubt and greed. I've found when most people haven't a leg to stand on, they fall back into performative insouciance in an attempt to redirect the conversation. Always brazen, rarely effective. Listen closely. This is the work of the Grand Plan, guiding us toward humanity's ascension. Everything exists for this purpose. Since you took your time scurrying about my ship, presumably rifling through our things, I assume you also found information about the far-off rifts in untraversed space. That alone should tell you that we don't make our own circumstances. It seems they were made by the ship our matriarch found. A curiosity, isn't it? Without this discovery, we may never have realized the power we now possess with the rifts. Yes, the Great Architect works in mysterious ways. What else can I do but what is bidden? And yet, what is meant to be, will be. It matters not what path you tread, if the destination has been preordained. Now, as fascinating as your pseudo-intellectual musings have been to witness, I've reached my limit. It's your time that's running out, not mine. So go on, tell me all the ways I'm wrong. Better yet, tell the whole room how His Eminence, the Sovereign, was wrong. This was originally his plan, after all. I am merely a partner seeing it carried out. Do not presume to tell me what is or isn't the truth. I was advisor to the original Sovereign. I know the mind of a true leader. This is the path Henry should have taken. Yes, of course we argued over methodology. Henry was always too stubborn, too focused on the past to understand the opportunity before him. I regret that he had to make such a difficult choice. That one of the matriarch's heirs is not guiding us. But he needed to look beyond himself, like I am doing now. You just come and go as you please, do you? I ensured he would have a handler by his side if any assistance was needed. And I understand that it is, which is regrettable. But fulfilling the Architect's plan is worth the cost. Henry would agree. The people would agree. Yes, well, we also lost the support of the Order. But can one truly call that a loss? We would have drowned already in the seas of war with the weight of their inaction around our necks.
Reality would dispute that fact, given that it is I who has invaded your sanctum, and not the other way around. The Order has always been the Protectorate's more capable half.
I can scarcely recognize the Bishop standing in front of me. To think that I welcomed your ascension all those years ago. Orlo was at least amenable, moldable, teachable. But you've been nothing but disappointment. You're so busy chasing figments of the future, you don't even know they're leading you off the side of a cliff.
To a man of such expansive pride, all perceived slights become personal. Recall, Emery, that we once worked together toward the same aims. You made us enemies when you started down this unconscionable deviation from what is best for Arcadia.
I will not be blamed for your treacherous actions. A true Protectorate subject knows that adhering to the Sovereign's words is what's best for Arcadia. And you You were never true. The same can be said for any subject who wavers. They are dead weight, and we must cast them off straight away. Once I win the war and leave those naysayers behind, harsh action will be swiftly forgotten. And once I provide for the needs of my subjects, I will have them forever.
Commander's right. Protectorate's been burning its own for too long to stay warm. This war just made the flames more noticeable.
And? Our devotion must be tested by fire, as it is said, else it is not true. You are clearly ill-equipped to speak on Arcadian affairs, or of what truly matters to its subjects. I alone can give them what they need. You must see that. So you say, but you've yet to deliver any compelling evidence.
Madness is rarely apparent to one in its throes. I wonder, would you even be capable of hearing facts if we offered them?
I am the chosen shepherd of Arcadia and will not be spoken to like this. I am only doing what I must to restore this colony to what our matriarch envisioned. Free of war, strife, heresy. You must know that you have little chance of swaying me. I will not be distracted from taking what is owed to us. I will not be lectured by an outsider. It's just like the Earth Directorate, or any other interloper, to claim to better know the customs of those they invade. Certainly if you had your way, you would claim Arcadia as yours, and rewrite history to suit your own aims. Heresy!
I found her correspondence with the First Bishop. She explicitly said she feared the Arcadian experiment would end as all similar projects did before it, in a crumbling heap of hubris.
The matriarch foresaw many things. To think that we were not set apart from lesser societies, it is humbling. And it appears we have fallen prey to the very thing she warned of. What do you mean, steered wrongly? If Reuben was not carrying out her wishes as intended, then the Protectorate has strayed far from the Matriarch's light. But regardless of how I may have misstepped before, I am not in the wrong now. All your so-called arguments are pure hearsay. You came here claiming so boldly that I would fail, but you have yet to provide any proof. So where is it? What do you have? Bah, a report. The abstract means little when compared to reality. Look outside. Is it failing now? I shall not have you mocking my subjects. Despite how things appear at present, with time, this station, all of Arcadia, and all of its people will be made whole. Yes, well, I find that man's attitude can skew results even more than a thumb on the scale. But if he's correct, as he quite typically is, I don't understand. Surely every step leading to this moment was in accordance to the grand plan. All the pieces fit. Either someone has made a terrible mistake, or this is merely a conspiracy to mislead us. And leave the traitors and invaders alive? No! Death is the only way forward. We can only be made pure from the ashes, despite whatever supposed proof you have to the contrary. Claim? If you cannot see the truth of my devotion written plain, then now I see why you are against me so. But you are wrong about the risk. We are losing this war. It is inevitable. The victors will brutally subdue us until we become corrupted. Until we forget our principles, our history, the very core of who we are. It is better that we perish together as proud Protectorate, proud Arcadians. Preserving our purity is a mercy, More than that, is it not love? Do you think I've found pleasure from the pain I've wrought? No! I've only done what I must. A child, a society, cannot grow into its potential without firm correction. I would die to see that the Protectorate's legacy would not be tarnished. Just as I would die for its promise to be fulfilled, and its subjects to live in peace. As are you.
Ready to take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when.
Hostile spotted!
Enemies detected.
I'm the one you need to worry about. Learn this on triangular. Soften them up.
Ready to waste him. On your command. Lights flashing before my eyes, Commander. Revive me.
Serve the console.
If the readouts are to be believed, the rift is on the verge of destabilizing completely. But the rift modulator cannot be operated from this distance. It must be flown into the rift.
A pilot will be required to ensure the modulator reaches its destination.
Though it may be troubling to you, this conclusion holds no uncertainty. Someone present must do this. Well observed. My importance to Arcadia obviously exceeds that of those present.
The Order and I will use the schematics and the processed rift data to mass-produce modulators that are usable at a distance. These pesky rifts will soon no longer plague the colonies.
The Earth Directorate is here to help you.
I don't see why it has to be you, dear. I mean, I would, but I've spent much too much on prolonging my existence to cash out now. That is to say, thank you.
I will work with Auntie personally to protect the Rift technology and ensure your sacrifice is remembered for the selfless action it is.
It appears the pilot must be chosen from among those currently present, Commander. This unit is happy to enlist a volunteer by force.
No need to belabor this. I will fly the ship. Back on Greater Tranquility, you wish to give me a chance to atone for my mistakes. I'd say that opportunity has come.
Our damnation and salvation all in one. I'll never understand you, Augustine, but in spite of everything, I wouldn't take back our having met.
Magnanimous. But it's not for my legacy that I'm doing this. Now go.
Augustine DeVries chose to die to atone for her actions. And yet, even that hope faded in her final moments, as she realized nothing would make up for what she had done. But at least she'd not have to live with her guilt any longer. Thanks to the commander's quick thinking in sparing it from the Vox station's fiery crash, Paradise Island's Fairfield remained a profitable company town for Auntie's Choice. For his outside-the-box thinking and innovative propaganda techniques, D.B. Milverstreet was promoted, while rival Officer Carr seethed at her lack of upward mobility, or even bronze-tier executive benefits. Vigilant Hogarth, now acclimated to Fairfield, leaned on the Protectorate ideals of neighborliness, while overlooking all the authoritarian tactics, so he might help the Order to succeed with the equation. Auntie's Choice assumed control over the day-to-day workings of Matriarch's Mercy, the better to monitor their new colleagues in the Order. The monastery, however, returned to normal operation, tracking the clockwork of the grand plan. The monastery's abbot became a scapegoat for recent tragic events, having not detected Wiley's dastardly schemes. His superiors demoted him, mainly to show their corporatist allies that academics could keep their people in line too. Seer Wiley fled the Order and sought refuge in a backwater Arcadian town to contemplate his failings. As word of the ex-seer's arrival spread, people lined up for predictions. Forsaking the math that failed him, he offered obvious yet effective advice instead. Archivist Victor Clemens, having survived his encounter with the commander and manipulation by DeVries, ended up working as a janitor for Auntie's Choice, living a life of menial simplicity. After defending Fort Endurance against a fierce Mantisaur attack, Executive Warchek was awarded a commendation for profit-securing stalwartness, as well as promotion to regional manager. He eventually passed peacefully in his sleep at the scientifically astounding age of 6. Val continued to serve the commander of the Incognito faithfully for many more years than should be possible, giving automechs like her everywhere a reputation as stable and reliable. As a result, more Valerie units were put into service, while fewer human agents were deployed into the field. As he rose through the Earth Directorate ranks, Niles pressed for a field directive to deploy the new Val units only when the situation posed significant risk. The policy reduced agent casualties by a significant margin. Oddly enough, in-office deaths increased by a not insignificant margin. Agent Niles Ibarra achieved the rank of commander, earning renown as a formidable agent, unafraid to challenge the status quo within the Earth Directorate. He recruited his friend Zebulon Tran to the Earth Directorate, a gesture of gratitude for not airing the Directorate's dirty laundry. Together, they vowed to reform the agency from within, so it might never again bargain with authoritarian governments. Ultimately, Niles rose to the position of Secretary General. His term saw the Earth Directorate at its most popular, or, in the eyes of corporations and tyrannical governments, most feared. Thanks to her effective performance at the Praetor blockade, Inez eventually became a VP of Auntie's Choice and head of the revamped grafting program. Through her egalitarian management style, grafting evolved into the corporation's first health benefit, available to all employees who wanted it. Utilizing what he learned alongside the commander, Tristan attempted to reform Protectorate society from within. But with no authority figure to lead its subjects, the Protectorate was a shell of its former self. Ever logical and distant from others, Marisol embraced violence as her solution to eliminate random variables from the equation. Unsurprisingly, she was invited to few social functions. Asa finally achieved her dream of dying in a rift. All it took was a daring and blood-soaked heist of a modulator to create a rift that she then summarily leapt into. Thus, Asa remained a fanatical member of the glorious dawn, spreading the truth of the rifts to her final agonized breath. With the modulator schematics shared as joint intellectual property, Auntie's choice and the Order's partnership remained steady, despite the need for constant compromise. For a time, the Arcadia colony thrived. Auntie Cleo went through the motions of accommodating the Order, yet privately aspired to keep free trade anything but free. She began a new initiative. Any corporation or government that refused her trade conditions was promptly dealt with, either via takeover or strategic use of rifts. Auntie made her first public appearance in years, inspiring a fashion trend in bubble helmets. In no time at all, she won more public support than Ruth, which she sought to use as leverage when the time was right. Ruth Bassar proceeded to interface with the archive, an agonizing process that clawed away her lifespan. The archive computed that she was mistaken to compromise with the corporatists. To advance the plan, she needed to destroy them from within. So she proceeded to do just that. She had only been using the corporation for its logistical infrastructure. Auntie herself and at least some of her top executives needed to cease existing in Arcadia, either via assassination or skip-drive-assisted exile. Bassar stripped the power from the corporatists in subtle ways, until it was too late for them to stop her. Yet it remained unclear how long the Order could sustain its dominance once Ruth Bassar passed on to become one with the equation. Adrift without firm leadership, Protectorate subjects struggled with post-war life. A small band of hardliners collaborated to preserve their society in the face of Arcadia's new leadership. When Sovereign Varric was discovered in mental refreshment, the Order and Auntie's Choice bickered over what to do with him. They ultimately decided to announce his death, while letting him live the rest of his addled days behind closed doors aboard the undisputed claim. Until one day, Amos stumbled upon the Sovereign's private quarters and freed him, rocking the colony with a brief scandal. Despite the recent tumultuous events in Arcadia, it was business as usual for Free Market Station. Sub Rosa continued to supply the colony in the wake of the commander's actions. Unable to die in their sacred rift after it was closed, the Glorious Dawn heeded a new calling, seeking the modulators needed to create new rifts, so that they could die in those instead. The dangerous experimental research of Marisol's contact from Point Obviation lived on, with a seer predicted 11.9% probability of yielding a universe-ending catastrophe. Meanwhile, an entrepreneurial work group of chemistricians unveiled a new flavor of purple berry crunch. The rifts across Arcadia and beyond were soon closed. Trade quickly resumed, with Auntie's Choice handling logistics. Yet, more than just goods and resources traveled the re-established trade routes. The Order's version of scientism spread as well. Many colonies stabilized, many thrived, and some even rose to an Arcadian level of prosperity. But there are still some that have never been heard from. All of these events turned on the decisive actions of the Earth Directorate agent and their unique way of navigating Arcadia, its disparate factions, social complexities, ubiquitous product placement, and arsenal of absurdly satisfying weaponry. But through it all, and to this day, Earth has remained inexplicably dark.
Honestly, Ruth Bassar could use my help too. She's all brains, but no branding.